I would like to call our meeting to order at 6 o'clock and declare that we do have a board quorum present. If y'all will please stand for our invocation with the faith. And then our pledges of allegiance, which will be led by Austin Elementary students Ryan and Riker Blank.
Loving and gracious God, you are indeed the giver of all good gifts, and we thank you for today, for all your blessings, and for all the successful outcomes for all of our students, their school events, all our staff members, and also all our volunteers. We ask that you bless them all abundantly and continue to seek your wisdom, guidance, courage, and strength. Be with us in our deliberations tonight and help us to be wise in the decisions we make. Blessed be your blessed and holy name. Amen.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. On the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
We'd like to ask the board if you making its way to the front as we transition into our awards, achievements, and recognitions. I will now turn the presentation over to Mrs. Carla Crispin.
Good evening, President Howard, Superintendent Massey, board members, staff, and certainly all of our guests. We have a great deal to celebrate tonight, and I could not be happier. Those of you who have not been here before, I call this the best part of the meeting, and it certainly is. Our first recognition tonight, I'm going to turn this over to Barbara Franklin. She is the Executive Director of the Foundation of Brazoria County to present some checks to some of our schools. Ms. Franklin?
This is the most fun part of my job because I get to give money. If the principals from the following schools would please come forward: Velasco, T.W. Ogg, Jane Long, Griffith, and O.A. Fleming. While they're making their way, I want you to know that the Community Foundation Brazoria County would like to thank all of our community partners and individuals for helping donate to a fund that allows us to give money to elementary schools with low-income students. The checks are not made out the same because they're directly proportionate to the amount of low-income students you have. They can be used for anything you want to use them for. That's the great part. You don't have to report to anybody. It's all it's meant to be flexible so that the individual needs of your students can be met. They use it for electric bills, broken windows, medical bills, whatever you want to use it for. All we ask is you give us a short little report after you spend the money. Let us know how many kids will help and how you use them, how you use the funds. We hope that this will make a real difference in these children's lives and that it will help give them a good foundation to succeed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Franklin. Thank you very much. Time for a picture. And as always, we thank the Brazoria County Foundation as well as the Good Foundation for their generosity. Now we have many wonderful students and teachers to celebrate. Our first recognition this evening is for the Habitat T-shirt Design Art Contest. Mr. Luce and the school, if you'll please join us. If you'll please join Mr. Massey. Priscilla, if you will as well. This fall, the Habitat Walk Committee needed a school to step up and step in to facilitate their Habitat t-shirt competition. Normally this goes to a school within Brazoria County, and this year, unfortunately, another school district could not facilitate. Mr. Luce, in his first year at Clute Intermediate, stepped up to have all of his art students participate in the competition. And I'm very happy to say that Priscilla Gould's Penny House rendering became the official t-shirt for the Brazoria County Habitat Walk Parade, which was held on November 5th. Thousands of these shirts have been worn and given away, and Priscilla was the first one to get the shirt, and the committee surprised her and Mr. Luce at a big walk-in party with drumline and cheerleaders the week right before. So Priscilla, thank you, and Mr. Luce, thank you so much for bringing your art and your talent to all of Brazoria County, and thank you for setting the standard for all of us. Picture. We'll be seeing Mr. Luce and Priscilla again. At this time, we have many Brazoria County Fair winners that we will recognize. We are going to do this campus photo by campus photo, and we're going to try to do it as quickly as possible, but certainly honoring all of your children as for all of their hard work and dedication, and their teachers as well. At this time, I turn this over to our coordinator of extracurricular programs, Chris Hutchison.
Brazosport Independent School District is very proud of its art programs. The work produced by our students represents both excellence and hard work by both students and teachers. Tonight, we would like to honor some of the many students who work daily for better understanding of art and the world around them. The following students are winners from the Brazoria County Fair Art Contest. Our first one is Elaine Yang. First place. Gabrielle Garza. Julissa Estrada. Priscilla Gould, again. Carson LaBerge. And Michaela Rios. These students are under the direction of Mr. Jason Luce. From Freeport Intermediate, we have Galatia Brittany. Galatia Britton. Alexis Gutierrez. And Chase Cancino. These students are under the direction of Miss Deb Connors. from Lake Jackson Intermediate, we have Ariana Ramos. Esmeralda Yanes. Sarah Royschel. Grace Bailey. Connor Pierce. Isabella Damien. Madeline Haish. Elizabeth Villegas. Addison Atkins. Haley Winchy. And Sarah Lamb. These students are under the direction of Mrs. Michelle Stollard.
And I'm back. Now we have, for the first time in many, many years, winners in the Brazoria County Fair Essay Competition. 3 of Ms. Jill Kroll's 7th grade students took first, second, and third place in the Brazoria County Essay Competition with their topic being Family, Friends, and Community, Building the Future. Third place, we have Noah Alexander. Noah? We have Josue Villegas, 2nd place. And we have, for 1st place, Kara Rodriguez. And of course, Ms. Paul, their teacher. Again, returning from not competing for several years, we have Lake Jackson Intermediate School students participating in the Fashion and Design Competition at Brazoria County Fair. And tonight we have in 1st place for embroidery, Mariah Knopf. And 2nd place, Paige Groves. Oh, and excuse me, I'm so sorry. And Paige Huck, 1st place in cross stitch. And Ms. Kathy Van de Heyer, their teacher. Brazosport Independent School District is very proud of its band programs. The music
produced by our students represents excellence and hard work by both students and directors. The following students from Clute Intermediate were named to the Region 17 Middle School All-Region Band. Darren Patel, tuba. Floyd Binion, trombone. Matthew Polito, trumpet. These students are under the direction of Mr. Daniel Fernandez.
And tonight we have some FFA students joining us from Brazosport High School. These FFA students competed again in the Brazoria County Fair. I'd like to call up Amber Robles, who won first place in junior breeding in the heifer division. Chase Cancino, second place in junior breeding in heifer. TJ Woods for third place in the scrambled heifer and second place in the commercial heifer. And at this time, I would like to call Brooklyn Kozak and her brother, Bronson Kozak. Brooklyn and Bronson competed together in market goats. Bronson won first place in the scramble for heifer, first place in junior breeding heifer, as well as first place scramble class, first place junior breeding, and first place open beef. Oh, I'm so sorry, I meant to, yes, thank you so much. Bryn Whitty, she wanted to take a picture instead, so, yes. We'll send it to her. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Whitty. Now we have adult recognitions. I would like to ask Ms. Rachel Arthur, our Director of Child Nutrition, to please join me in the rainbow.
Bryn.
I think she's trying to get in the room. And here she comes.
Lisa Beck, dietitian and assistant director of BISD's Child Nutrition Department, was recently featured in the Ideas That Work segment of a national magazine, SN School Nutrition, for her innovative lessons in nutrition education. She has worked with some of our BISD teachers to incorporate nutrition into core curriculum lessons, such as a high school math class learning to calculate body mass index and caloric intake. She's also worked with Project Grow to teach our younger students how to make fun, healthy snack items with things that they could find at home. Lisa works to connect core curriculum with real-life tools to help our students achieve and maintain a healthy lifestyle. We are so proud to have her expertise and initiative on our team in child nutrition here in Brazosport ISD. Congratulations, Lisa, on your accomplishment.
setting the standard in child nutrition across the state and the nation. Thank you. Our next presentation will be with digital learning, and our Director of Digital Learning, Ms. Nancy Gardner, is here to present our new standard bearers.
Thank you. 3 BISD digital learning coaches set the standard in educational technology professional development when they each presented at the Technology and Curriculum Conference of Aldine ISD last month. Elizabeth Merritt from Lake Jackson Intermediate, April Whitehead from Clute Intermediate, and Emily Turner from Freeport Intermediate. Please join Mr. Massey and the board. Technology and Curriculum Conference in Aldine, in partnership with TCA, annually holds a free Technology and Curriculum Conference for teachers, administrators, and librarians. The conference provides sessions in technology integration, encompassing instruction for students of all ages and for all subjects. Elizabeth Merritt presented Road Trippin', how to plan a trip anywhere in the world using the Tour Builder with Google. This allows teachers to add more depth and understanding by taking their students on a trip to see where events actually took place. April Whitehead presented 2 different sessions. The first one was how to build a solid 3D printing program, and the second was how to construct interactive images with Google Drawing. Emily Turner led a group in how to import existing slides or PowerPoint presentations into Nearpod so they can add polls, short answer questions, drawings, and quizzes. BISD is fortunate to have these ladies supporting our students, teachers, and staff every day. Thank you, ladies, for setting the standard in digital learning in Texas.
And now is our monthly Heartworks. Our Coordinator of Human Resources, Ms. Mary Lou Shady.
Good evening. It is my honor to present to you the Heartworks recipient for October, Ms. Teresa Foss. Ms. Foss is the secretary to the principal at Janglong Elementary. She's been with the Brazosport ISD for 2 years. Ms. Foss received the Heartwork nomination from the Janglong principal, Margaret Meadows, for the many hours of behind-the-scenes work that she did to make the Janglong Harvest Fest a success. Ms. Meadows stated, everyone does more than they have to in education, but Teresa takes it to a new level. She approached Ms. Meadows at the beginning of the year to ask for approval for Long to have a festival to raise money for student welfare. She garnered donations from the community, organized the entire event, and put in countless hours of her own time to make sure everything went off without a hitch. The event was a success, raising over $1,800. She's already making plans to have a bigger and better festival next year. Her work on the festival was the reason for her nomination, but she could easily be nominated for her tremendous work ethic, her positive attitude, and her dedication to Long Elementary. Ms. Foss, please accept this dinner for 2 from our 4 BISD Kids partner, El Chicos, and a certificate on behalf of Mr. Massey and the board for going above and beyond to make BISD a great place to work.
And now I'd like to ask Mr. Whitehead, Assistant Superintendent.
Good evening. In alignment with District Goal 5, BISD will promote, communicate, and market the accomplishments, achievements, and success of students and staff. It is my honor and privilege to recognize 3 campuses tonight for outstanding staff attendance for the first 9 weeks. Congratulations to the following campuses for receiving the highest staff attendance. Highest Elementary Campus, T.W. Ogg with 97.3%, Principal Christy Plato. Next, we have the highest middle intermediate campus, Lanier Middle School, with 96.9, Mr. Richard Rhodes. And last but certainly not least, the highest high school campus, the Success Academy, 97.1%, Principal Charles Hawkins. Thank you, principals and staff, for your commitment to being there for our students.
That is making a true difference in the lives of our students. Thank you. And sadly, this does conclude our awards and recognitions, but I can assure you, we already have the list filling up for next month.
Bye, guys. Bye. Good job. Good job. Good night, you too.
We'll now ask Mr. Ron Ray to conduct a public hearing to discuss pursuing the designation of Brazos ISD as a district of innovation. This is a public hearing, so audience participation will be invited at the conclusion of this presentation.
Well, good evening. In accordance with Board Policy AF Legal, Board Goal 1, Brazosport ISD will provide a rigorous and relevant learning experience to ensure that every student will be future ready. Board Goal 2, Brazosport ISD learning environments will be safe and conducive to learning. And Board Goal 3, Brazosport ISD will recruit, develop, and retain highly effective staff. It's my pleasure to conduct a hearing about the Texas Education Agency District of Innovation designation. The District of Innovation designation was passed by the 84th Legislative Session in House Bill 1842, giving traditional independent school districts like BISD local authority and autonomy, allowing the flexibility to ask, what if, and customize those possibilities to meet the needs of BISD students. According to Superintendent Massey, we know over the years state mandates and prescriptive laws have eroded local control of our school district. This is a realistic process for us to do something about it. We plan to take advantage of this opportunity and to investigate the possibilities. New flexibilities in implementing Texas Education Code provisions are now available to school districts. With a District of Innovation designation, Brazosport ISD would have greater flexibility to meet the learning needs of all students. There are many different exemptions a school district can seek by being designated a District of Innovation. Each school district is encouraged to develop a plan that meets their own specific needs. In BISD, we are committed to doing all we can to ensure the success of all our students. So we will explore possibilities in areas that will afford us the flexibility we need to make decisions and create learning opportunities and environments that have the greatest impact on student performance. Those areas include school start date and calendar, minutes of instruction, class size ratio, extended school year, the 90% attendance rule, and teacher certification. Being designated as a District of Innovation does not exempt the school district from all the provisions of Texas Education Code. To begin with, the district must specifically identify which areas of the code from which they wish to be exempted. Second, as you can see from this list, certain provisions in the code cannot be considered for exemptions. In other words, these are the can't touch areas. These include elected boards of trustees, powers and duties of school boards, superintendents and principals, PEEMS, criminal history record checks and educator misconduct reporting, curriculum and graduation requirements, bilingual and special education, pre-kindergarten, academic and financial accountability and sanctions, open meetings, public records, public purchasing and conflicts of interest, nepotism, and state and federal laws outside of the Texas Education Code. The process to become a District of Innovation began when the board passed a resolution on October 25th to initiate consideration for being designated as an innovation district. Tonight, we are conducting a public hearing about the District of Innovation, and later in the meeting, the board will vote to pursue or not pursue becoming a District of Innovation. Should the board vote to pursue becoming a District of Innovation, they will appoint a committee to write the local innovation plan. Once a final draft of the local innovation plan is completed, the District Educational Improvement Council, or DEIC, will host a public meeting where they will consider the final plan and vote to approve it. The plan must be approved by a majority vote of the DEIC. If the plan is approved, it must be posted on the district website for 30 days prior to final presentation to the board for their approval, and the plan must be sent to the Commissioner of Education. The final step in the process is a board vote to approve or not to approve the local innovation plan. Should they vote by at least a 2/3 majority to approve the plan, then the district will become a District of Innovation, and the final approved local innovation plan will be sent to TEA. Since this is a public hearing, at this time, I'd be happy to answer any questions the board or audience may have.
Questions? Any questions from the audience? Hearing none, we'll now close the public hearing. The time is 6:31. Thank you, Mr. Redmond. At this time, in accordance with BED local, the board will provide an audience with individuals who have signed up prior to the meeting to address the board. Tonight, we do not have any requests to comment to the board, so we will move on to our next item in the agenda. The next item in our agenda is the consent agenda. Do we have any items that are requested to be pulled from this consent agenda? Approve the consent agenda. It's been moved by George to accept the consent agenda as presented. Do I have a second? Seconded by Mr. Spears. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed by nay. Motion carries unanimously. Our next item on the agenda is our action items. Action item number A is our interlocal agreement for the road at Brandon Elementary.
Good evening. In accordance with Board Policy CB Local, it is my pleasure to present the interlocal agreement for a new road at Brandon Elementary. Brandon Elementary continues to experience significant traffic flow issues on campus that are causing further issues on the surrounding city streets. Superintendent Massey has met with the City of Lake Jackson to study the problem and help come up with a solution. The identified solution is twofold, which will include changing traffic flow and egress from city streets to campus drop-off and pickup, as well as installing an asphalt road on the campus, which will connect the student drop-off area to the bus loop area. The City of Lake Jackson has already approved their portion of the proposed plan, which will require some striping on the city streets. Superintendent Massey also met with Brazoria County to pursue an interlocal agreement for the construction of the road at Brandon Elementary site. Brazoria County recently approved the attached interlocal agreement, it's in your board book, at their November 8th meeting. As you can see from the estimate here on the PowerPoint, should be about $3,800 in materials. That will be on the district to pay for that, and the county will cover the cost of labor and equipment to build the road up to the amount of $10,000. We do not anticipate exceeding that on the county's part, so we should be good there. With that said, here's a brief view of kind of what we're talking about. So you can see in the past, parents would loop through here and they would come back, and it would cause a lot of congestion on that way. So the road will be this little chunk right here, and so now parents will loop through here, they'll merge in with the bus line, and they'll exit 2040, which should keep the traffic where it needs to be. It is the recommendation of the administration that the Board of Trustees approve the proposed interlocal agreement for the road at Brandon Elementary. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Mr. Spears?
So the buses and cars, is it two lanes or are they larger than one lane?
It's wider than a lane. I don't know if it's two, complete lanes, but we did go over there and measure it. One other thing is there's actually only one big yellow bus, a school district bus that actually drops off kids at Brandon. Everything else is daycare van. But we did go measure and double check and make sure that we were gonna be good with that.
The one school bus is also a pretty late bus. It goes to LGI first, I think, or to Brasco first, so it's usually 10, 15 minutes after.
I think the traffic's always been a significant problem, but with the increase, a little bit of it's just progressively becoming more and more of a problem.
Is it gonna be difficult for them to get over to the school?
I don't believe that.
There's a light there.
We shall see.
Yeah, that's a concern looking at when you back up on.
Yes, sir.
You're gonna put an awful lot of traffic there in 2004. A lot of them are used to going backwards. What's the name of that?
There was no left turn there previously. You came out of that front circle and you were forced to go right. And then, yeah, and then you had to go to the stoplight. The problem, it's twofold. One, that was blocking bus entrance. And then the second problem was people coming from 2004 turning right and were backing up and stacking on this way from the entrance in the lower half of the front circle back onto 2004 and then down. And then they were double stacking in the middle where it says this way between the two 2004s there as well. And there was no traffic flow that was allowed to come through, across, and around. So it's really a bad situation.
So it's just, I'm not sure how this is gonna eliminate backup from 2004.
Because there will be no left turn now into the front. You'll have to come down to Shad Pond and make a U-turn and come back if you want to get back.
Come off in 2004, going through the drive-through.
There'll only be buses.
That's only in the blue line, yeah, that's part
Oh,
of the
sorry.
problem before, that
That's
was,
only one bus, yeah.
vehicles were able to come in there, that's the other big change, just not
This
letting.
is parent
Yeah,
traffic
everybody
right
has
here.
to,
That's bus
either in
traffic.
front of the school or the sides of the school on the bottom, eliminates, on 2000.
That's where the city's gonna put in additional striping.
And then it's down, they're down now, and they have signs up.
That blue line is, no, there's probably less than 5 vehicles, buses.
That's right.
It's on the road, it's, you can't walk.
So there's gonna be a barricade for the exits for a while.
Yes, they're gonna cone there and then cone also over where the road is. And they're also gonna cone on this way to prevent people turning left into that circle.
And I guess the question I asked earlier is, I understand they looked at drainage.
Yes, sir.
That's my past experience.
The county did assess that. You think that might be an issue? There's gonna be a 15-inch drainage pipe. It is right by a French drain. And from what they've assessed, I think we'll be okay. Also keep in mind, this is a fairly temporary solution for this site. You know, hopefully a few years down the road, we'll have a new. Is there what?
Yeah, there's a sidewalk there. It's going to the left of that.
Where do you want
Where the
to?
road's, no, I'm sorry, go back to one you
You
were
take
at.
that out.
Yeah, the road's gonna replace the sidewalk. Yeah. No, the road is gonna be where the sidewalk.
And that's Independence.
Are there any other questions?
So where's the sidewalk?
It's just to the right of the road.
We go back to the other slide and show it.
If you look on the one that's got the red lines, you can see it in that picture. Yeah, so if it says take out one tree, leave existing sidewalk and road.
It's shaky, but it's right to the. Here we go.
And there is
That's just tough,
there is
yeah,
a drain
sorry.
pipe underneath that sidewalk as well. I'm assuming we'll put that 15 inch to 6 wide.
We're building the dam. That's why I looked at it.
Correct, I mean, it is, but there again, we went on the county's recommendation of what they felt would be appropriate drainage for that.
Move for approval.
All right, we have a recommendation from the administration has been moved by Scott and seconded by Ms. Patty Sayes. We accept the recommendation as presented. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Mr. Monty. Action item B, District of Innovation.
In accordance with Board Policy AF Legal and Board Goals 1, 2, and 5, I'm presenting for action by the Board of Trustees the decision to pursue becoming a District of Innovation. It is the recommendation of administration that the Board of Trustees approve pursuing the designation of the Brazosport Independent School District as a District of Innovation.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
One of the things that I think Ron and I went to that session together is that I would strongly encourage the committee to align with our strategic plan. I don't know if I got lost in the shuffle or, because I think that's where we need to start. I think that's a good idea because it does give you a starting point. You mentioned the board goals. I don't think we need to limit that, but that's fine. Also, I think the people who went to the Mansfield training, I remember that, Mr. Cole, these guys, and Mr. Mason, but these guys, what particularity they would have for their schools or the high schools and intermediate schools, I think that would be a good, because we asked that knowledge, what they thought about when the training was going on. So, and I didn't bring, yes I did. There is a long list that's on the BISD website of the exemptions that you can have, and I think, I'm not sure we've seen that. I saw it.
That we may have.
It's quite lengthy.
It is lengthy.
And so I think we want to make sure that we don't overlook any of them. There's several, I think, that could be looked at as far as the exceptions. And I know we're focusing in. I think we also need to be, hopefully, think about, from the committee standpoint, not for the whole district, we can do it for a school system or any
Yes.
matter. I think that's very important to make sure that we take a look at that and see what's best for that system. So, if we miss it, we got to go back and go through the approval process again, but that's not too worried about that. So, the thing I took away from that training was that the ones who had done it early kind of just did a general, it was kind of like, we want to do this and we want to do everything, and so I don't think that's really what it's intended for. So I think we need to do some work on that one. So I guess that's it. I think it's a good deal.
Is there some sort of guideline or criteria that could be put together to help the committee kind of build on the journey we're just talking about?
Yes.
Yes, it's there.
A lot of information.
And with the list of,
Yes.
of the education code that can be exempt.
Yes.
Some of them are a little strange.
Any other comments about the other ones we did?
No, I think it's a good thing too. I think it provides for a lot of opportunities. I think there's some opportunities that we can definitely take advantage of and should be taking advantage of, but I also think there's some things that we need to be wary of and make sure that we're in the best interest of all those in the district. So as long as we keep an eye on those things, I think we can make a huge success for our district and maybe even more so for certain feeder patterns as well. Because I think to Jerry's point, I think each sometimes school and sometimes feeder pattern could have a different plan, a different set of actions along there. So I think it's going to be a great thing for us.
What would the committee look like? Who's going to be on the committee?
Well, we have a draft that after tonight, if you vote to approve it, we'll send you a draft that's made up of teachers, community members, business members, administrators. The board also has an opportunity to appoint members to it also.
just wanted to chime in. I thought, I went to the training as well. I was very excited that we had, I believe, the largest number from any district there. We had 16, I believe, representatives from our district. And I was also very pleased that many of the things, the sessions that they brought out, that these schools were doing under this district of innovation, quite a few of them we've already started and are doing. And so some of the things didn't necessarily require being a district of innovation. I felt like we were ahead of the curve as the baseball. I was very excited about that. So I'm for it. We have a recommendation. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the recommendation pursuing the designation of Brasford Independent School District as a district.
It's been moved by Mr. Atkins. Do I have a second? Scott seconds it. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no nay. Carries unanimously. Action item C, discussion and possible board action to approve payment agreement with Olin Chlorine 7 LLC. Mr. Schaefer.
Good evening. The following is in accordance with board policy CCG, along with district goal that Brazos ISD will exercise fiscal responsibility to ensure financial strength and provide the resources to equip and maintain quality facilities and educational programming. As you may recall, a while back, the district entered into a 313 agreement with Dow Chemical with application number 172. It has changed ownership twice and is currently owned by Olin. Article 3 of the participation agreement includes revenue protection payments. This is to ensure the district is not financially harmed by entering into this agreement. For 2016-17 is the first year the limitation is taking effect. So basically, they've been taxed at full value up until last year. So for 16-17, they'll receive the limitation. With that, the district would have lost revenue. So the company has to hold us harmless for that. For this year, it would be due January 31st, 2017 to the tune of $8 million. Due to the size of the amount, Olin has requested for this to be paid in equal installments beginning March 15th, 2016 through May 1st, 2016, June 15th, 2016, with the final payment on August 1st.
So 17?
Whoops, 17, yep. That would be correct.
It was low.
Yeah, they're past due. So based on the cash flow needs for the year, the payment schedule will not hinder the operational requirements of the district. The payment agreement is included in the board book and does reflect the correct dates. This is the largest amount that will be due from Olin for this agreement. The remaining years are a lot lower, therefore should not require any additional payment agreements. So, it is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve the payment agreement with Olin Chlorine 7 LLC as presented in your board packet. You have to answer any questions.
Any questions?
Were they provided the remaining schedule of payments so they're aware of those in the future?
Yes. This was unique due to the fact that Olin acquired the agreement last year. I believe this was...
But they're fully aware of the remaining.
And it will vary because the calculations are different depending on actual tax savings that they will generate based on the values for that year. But they do have the remaining estimated numbers for the life of the agreement.
What were your prices? I'm just looking ahead for 2018 payment on time.
I believe since this was their first agreement that they basically acquired, they weren't necessarily involved with the whole process, and then they may have caught them a little bit off guard.
I can testify that there was some confusion.
Any other questions?
I make a motion that we approve the payment agreement as presented.
It's been moved by Mr. Atkins that we accept it as presented. Ms. Patty says seconds. All in favor say aye. item D. So this is you again, discussion and possible board action to approve the second amended agreement for limitation on the appraisal value of property for school district maintenance and operation taxes, assigning application number 1007 from BASF to Yara Freeport LLC and Freeport Ammonia LLC.
Good. Thank you. The following is in accordance with board policy CCG, along with the same district goal as the previous item. We do have Dan Casey here this evening to present the second amendment for BASF. The first amendment was due to a change in location on the site. The second amendment is due to an assignment to different owners. So we do have Cindy Suggs along with Los Ortiz representing BASF here for any specific questions regarding the application and agreement. Mr. Casey? You drove all the way from home.
Yeah, no, it's fine, thanks. Thank you, Mr. Schaefer, Mr. President, members of the board, and Superintendent Massey, Dan Casey. Yeah, this is a change in ownership on this, and it has gone through, we've got today 3 approval letters from the Controller's Office that they've reviewed the amendment and approved it. They've reviewed the certification that they issued previously is applicable to this change in ownership. And then I think there was a third factor as far as the acceptance of the amendment itself. So it's kind of gone through a complete review. There's no real changes in the anticipated schedules or other factors in there. So it's one that the Controller's Office has signed off on based on those 3 letters that they submitted to the district today. So it's one that certainly recommend to you.
So again, essentially a change in ownership. The administration recommends the board approve the second amended agreement for a limitation on appraised value of property for school district maintenance and operation taxes, which is assigning application number 1007 from BASF to Yara Freeport LLC and Freeport Ammonia LLC.
Questions?
We know who's going to pay with the time.
I believe Yara. Who would actually make the payment on the,
Yara Freeport LLC.
Yara Freeport?
Unless they want this to happen.
Okay.
We may need more money.
Any other questions? Do I have a motion to approve the recommendation as presented? Move approval. Moved by Scott, seconded by Ms. Petty. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed by nay? Carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We do not have any items to be considered that were pulled from the consent agenda. So our next item on the agenda is our reports, 2012-2014 bond project updates.
Good evening. In accordance with board policy CV local, it is my pleasure to present the 2012-2014 bond update. As of November 10th, 2016, total POs issued for the 2012 bond are $30,666,442, or approximately 76.10% completed or in progress. For 2014, as of November 10th, total POs issued of $45,549,784, or approximately 26.03% completed or in progress. Current projects are the new linear gymnasium, Polk and Griffith classroom additions, and Package A summer projects, all completed. The new Boyle Elementary in the construction phase, Polk and Griffith new gymnasiums in the construction phase, and Long Elementary replacement is in 50% document review. New Boyle Elementary opening August of 2017. This is an aerial photograph taken about 3 weeks ago. Photograph on the left is the front elevation of the school. They're currently putting brick on the building. And the photograph on the right is the stacking lane, which runs parallel to Ash Lane. And you're looking towards the existing campus, that is the Tally building, and directly at the end of that road. The remaining portion of that road will be completed when the new campus, the old campus is torn down. Photograph on the left is the front entry, which they are currently putting the roof on. And photograph on the right is the cafeteria with the serving lines and the kitchen on the other side of the wall. Photograph on the left at Boydell is the typical classroom wing with the classrooms over to your left. And the photograph on the right is the brick that has been installed that is currently, or that is the cafeteria kitchen area. Polk Elementary Gymnasium, which will be completed at the end of this year and ready for the kids when they come back from Christmas break. And same with Griffith Elementary, they're both coming along very well. New Long Elementary replacement, as I mentioned before, is in the 50% document review phase, and we're still on track for getting under construction at the around February and March. I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Well, do we have any concerns? We've had really nice weather. I just feel like we're about to get into a part of the year that's not nearly as good or
No, at this time, there's no concerns. We're moving along very well. We've got, I think at last count, there was over 100 contractors on site. In a very short period of time, we'll probably have way more than double that. It'll be fun.
even if it starts raining, we're feeling confident.
Especially since we got roof going on, and we're gonna start putting in drywall probably in the next 2 weeks. It's moving along very well.
All right.
Is that it?
There are no other questions?
Thank you.
Our next regular scheduled board meeting is December 13th. I'm sorry, I skipped reports B, board committee reports. Do I have any board committee reports? Mr.
I sent everybody right up from the Gulf Coast School Board saying it was very interesting. Still haven't got much input back from ASME yet on training, governance training. So Danny's enlightened us of some of them, but I'm still hoping to get something back from ASME just to see what they have a concern, as I said it with others. So, echoing Mr. Howard, thank everybody for going to Hansville. I think it was worth it. Also have, if you haven't completed the TEA survey on effectiveness of the ESS aid, so go ahead and do that. It's kind of interesting. It's an interesting little survey. I'm not sure how much effect it'll have, but at least it asks some questions that can get you to think. And I was happy to attend a couple of Veterans Day programs at NAVE for their songs and advance for acknowledging the veterans. Everything was pretty good except for the speaker. Other than that, it was real good. Little dull speaker.
I heard the speaker was excellent. From my daughter.
He was there. I mean, yeah, I guess that's from the daughter. That's a lot better than Troy said it was good, but you know.
From a 17-year-old girl, she said it was very good. So,
I'll take that one.
yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it. Being a veteran and doing going and participating.
I just missed my World War II days. They were there last year, and they told me they'd see me this year, and they weren't there, so no doubt.
Our next, our work session discussion, our next regular board meeting is scheduled for December the 13th. Executive session is next on our agenda. Executive session may be called for the purposes permitted by the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code, section 551.001 through 551.146, sections 551.071, consultation with attorneys, section 551.074, personnel matters, appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment, duties, discipline, dismissal, complaint. We shall return shortly.
We'll come back from executive session.
It is 7:50. We'll now reconvene from executive session. The time is 7:50. With no objections, this meeting is adjourned.
Objection. Okay.